The NFL is jealous of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's got to be. What's going on at these NFL league meetings? Lots is happening. Lots is being discussed at these meetings. We're going to talk about it all. Did the Phillies win? They did. How about that? We're going to talk about that as well. Trend in the AM. We are live on the STT Sports Network, taking all your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo.
And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter, as we always are. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, share. Starting this day out at 480 subscribers. That's 480. I can't even speak this morning. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, share. Do what you do best. And if you're watching over on Twitter, I know a lot of people watch on Twitter. Please, if you have YouTube, head on over to the YouTube page and hit subscribe. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Inching very slowly, snail's pace wise, over to that 500 subscriber mark. So I'd greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, and we got lots to talk about today. We got NFL league meetings going on. We've got the official ruling coming down finally, being able to put it to rest on the Tush push, happening later today. And I really think it comes down to jealousy. So we're going to talk about a whole bunch of slew of different things that are going on at the winter meetings right now. Some other rulings, some other Eagles news and notes. I took some pages of notes here. Got like 2.5 pages of notes here on things. So we're going to talk all things football that are going on there. And then, of course, the other question of the day, did the Phillies win? Guess what? They did, despite getting shut out and just straight dominated by the starting pitcher of the Colorado Rockies. Once the Phillies got to that crap bullpen that the Rockies had, the Phillies were able to have their bats wake up. Let's just say, while it looks good on paper, while the box score looks good on paper, that was not a great Phillies win. Hate to say it. Hate to sound negative, but that is the case. Let's get right into the comments. Little G, good morning to you. Hope you are well. Good morning, Mr. Rick. Hope you are well as well. Big Al in the house right from the get-go. Doesn't say good morning, just dives right into the Tush push. Good morning, Big Al. The Tush push ban is ridiculous, and the NFL should be ashamed of themselves. Well, yes, we've already had the Tush push conversation a half a dozen times already on this show, obviously. But I know. Look. We'll get to the Phillies in a minute. Look, we've had the Tush push conversation. We have many a times on this show. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And I really think it's a jealousy thing why they want it banned. Well, a select few. The thing is, look, honestly, realistically, they are not going to get it banned. They need to have 24 yes votes to ban it. That means 8 no's. Nick Sirianni's one of them. The Texans have already said no. They're not going to ban it. The Lions already said it. Shane Steichen, Kellen Moore, Jonathan Gannon, Nick Sirianni's already called out all 3 former coaches of his, saying you got your head coaching job because of the Tush push. That's at 6. The Browns, Stefanski, I thought he said he would vote against to ban it, but then I reread the clip and he's against it. So we're already at 7. There's not enough momentum to ban the Tush push. The fact that the Bills coach, Sean McDermott, is so against it, and so one of the, like, I know the Packers are the ones that proposed the change, but it seems like the Bills, Sean McDermott, is the one pushing the most to ban it. It's kind of comical, considering he ran the play the second most amount of times in the NFL last year. He ran it over 50 times. He just fails at running it. Fails at running it. And it's kind of comical. It's jealousy. I want to run the play. I can't run it like you, so let's ban it. If you can't beat them, ban them. If you can't stop it, change the rules. Oh, I got plenty of negative to say about yesterday's Phillies game. And I had it on at the pizza shop. I watched the entire game. In the first 4 games of the Philly season is a microcosm of what their season will be like, is be patient, but be confident. Dude, no offense, Rick. No offense. The Colorado Rockies suck. The Washington Nationals are terrible. You were able to, 2 of the 3 games that they won because they got after the bullpen. Those National and Rockies bullpens stink. Wait till you face a real bullpen. Are you really going to put up 6 runs in 3 innings against other teams' bullpens? Not very likely. The starting pitchers that have locked the Phillies down in the last 2 games, well, 3 of the first 4 games, because count opening day, are good pitchers, not great pitchers. The Phillies have the same exact offensive issues that have plagued them the last 3 years. And look, I don't need to see 40 games to know. 4 games in, I know this Phillies team's going to win a lot of baseball games, and they are going to come up small in the playoffs. We got lots. We're talking football. Lots happening at the NFL league meetings. Lots of conversations. Other things that I want to bitch and moan about. Got a lot of negative things to say today about the NFL league meetings. Nick was trending. Nick's talking a lot. It's because of the tush push. Sean McDermott does want it banned, and he's an idiot for that. Banning the tush push is cancel culture in full effect and ultra soft society. Man the F up and toughen up. Look, first off, yeah, I don't want to get into this topic too much or this angle at it, but the man up, toughen up thing, sometimes I hate it, but I think it fits here. Football's a hard hitting sport. Are we changing it to flag football here? Like, what are we doing with football when it comes to the tush push? Why? Like, why do we have to have this conversation? And look, again, it's not going to be banned. And it's kind of comical that today is my least favorite day of the year. Today's April Fool's Day. And that's the day that they're voting on banning the tush push or not. If you're on social media as much as I am, make sure you double check every bit of news before you share it out. But there are going to be a lot of fake news floating around the internet today. All right? Just so you know. He also didn't say if it stays a legal play that he wouldn't run it. I have no respect for him. They should have a banner to all those who vote against it. Yeah, exactly. They're weasels. Look, the one thing that they use to say it should be banned is player safety. Well, no one's ever gotten hurt using the play. So what are we doing here? And Sean McDermott, it's insane. You literally ran the play the second most times in the NFL behind the Eagles, but you don't know how to run it. So let's ban it. It's comical. It's literally comical. The Phillies team will win the World Series this season. I'm speaking. Keep speaking. Keep speaking. I'm pro push. Keep pushing. Keep on pushing. Like I keep pushing to 500 subscribers. What's next? You can't talk mean, and you can't do that either because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson already got ejected from a game last year for talking too much shit. Football, look, in life, I know things are changing, cultures are evolving, but it's still football. It's one of the most violent sports there is. Maybe the most violent sport. And a simple push play. They want to ban it? Why? You can't do it? Again, it goes back to the shift. It goes back to any major rule change. It's promoting offense. They want the ball thrown. They're going to tell us next that we can't run the ball X amount of times to Saquon Barkley because it's unstoppable. The Eagles' offensive line is too good. So the Eagles are only allowed 4 offensive linemen versus 5 the rest of the league. They're constantly changing things so that certain things don't happen. It's funny, talking about the Phillies, these new torpedo bats, and a couple of the Phillies already started using them yesterday. I think it was Matt Strom was asked about it. He's like, look, nobody cares what a relief pitcher's opinion is. They only care about offense. They don't care about how hard it makes it on the hitter or the pitchers. Get the technology UFL has where they have GPS in ball. Okay. Real-time ref overturns. It happens quickly. Look, that's true. It's so easy. So easy. So much technology available in sports that isn't used. But we're spending our time trying to ban a tush push because of salt and pepper. I've been speaking into existence for 7 months and it'll work. Phillies World Series champion. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. As long as, just like the Eagles are going to keep pushing the tush, you keep speaking and pushing the World Series championship into existence. That's what you can do. It's all good. It is what it is. The Phillies yesterday, 6 runs, but all against the Rockies bullpen. Marquez, 6 shutout innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts against our starters. And Trey Turner's still hurt. Maybe he comes back on Wednesday. JT Realmuto was back in there yesterday. Did not look too good at the plate. But again, the offense woke up with the bullpen. All right? Christopher Sanchez looked good. I don't know if he looked great per se, but he looked really good yesterday. But yeah, I still see the same flaws in the Phillies lineup. Banning the tush push is like banning a pitcher who throws over 98 miles an hour. That way, more dangerous. Yeah, like, look, it's also something that, so what? Pitchers that throw a certain speed, do they have to use a different weight at baseball? They're talking about in golf, Big Al, and I know you're not a big golf follower, but they're talking about rolling back the golf ball because some golfers are hitting it too far that others can't hit it. So it's not fair to the guy. If you average 298 a drive versus Rory, who averages 330 yards a drive, it's not fair. So they're talking about rolling the golf ball back so everybody can't hit it as far. Like, what are we doing? When someone gets good at something, we change the rule to make it harder. The Phillies are 3-1 now. What's next? You can't run into the catcher in baseball or fighting hot. Oh, yeah, you already can't. Oh, man. We agree on this one. Let ban the 3-pointer for. Oh, well, they're not gonna ban the 3-pointer. They're gonna institute a 4-pointer next. There's more points, But maybe they'll ban the zone defense again, or you can't double team someone down low. You can't double team someone out on the line. It's just crazy, and it's not. And honestly, again, it is not. I will say here right now, a few hours before we find the official answer to this, it is not going to get banned. 24 out of 32 is not going to happen. I'd be utterly shocked if it gets banned today. But the fact that it's on the table, and guess what? It's going to be on the table again next offseason, and the one after that, it eventually will get banned. But somebody will get hurt somewhere along the line, and then they'll push it through. But let's be honest. The banning of the tush push, whenever it happens, is setting a terrible precedent for not just football, for sports. Honestly, I think it started with the banning of the shift, setting a precedent. Changing rules to help some, to help the majority, because some excelled at something. What are they ban the shift in baseball? Because hitters didn't practice enough on how to beat the shift. Yeah, look, exactly. I hated it. Learn to hit the ball opposite field. But no, they don't want to do that because that's less home run. That's less of a guy like Kyle Schwarber trying to pull the ball every time he's up there, or Bryce Harper, which means when you're pulling it, you're trying to hit more home runs. They don't want doubles down the opposite field line. They want upper deck home runs. It's crazy. It's crazy. Steph Curry's got to start shooting with 3 fingers instead of 5 on each hand. He's got to start wearing oven mitts so he can't shoot the 3-point shot because he's too good. Like, where does it end in sports when you change these types of rules? And what's funny is it's not even the most egregious thing that got announced yesterday at the league meetings, in my opinion, because it's not happening. 2 other things are happening. One's just a joke, just to trigger all of you. The other one is insane, and it's something you might not even understand why I hate it so much. But it's not going to happen. Then ban the quarterback seat. I mean, look, somebody posted the Eagles' success rate of running just straight quarterback sneaks before they started using the tush push. And they ran basic quarterback sneaks with the likes of Nick Foles and Carson Wentz at the same success rate. because the Eagles have always prioritized elite offensive line. Outside of 2020, where there was a lot of injuries and it was a bad team, the Eagles have had a great offensive line since Andy Reid got here and started that culture change. They've always had great offensive lines. Fan tackling at this point. What's up, Stephen Fuentes? Can't wait to see you later tonight, 6 p.m., Fairway to Heaven. Talking Valero, Texas Open tonight. They should make the bases big. Oh, didn't they do? Yeah. I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Rick. And it is a problem. And they talk about, it's a great segue here to the thing that's the most egregious thing that was done yesterday at the league meetings, okay? They talk about player safety as the reason the tush push should be banned. Yet, did you see the other thing that they changed yesterday? The league has given Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football, the ability to flex Sunday games to Thursday. First and foremost, Thursday Night Football sucks. Thursday Night Football is not safe for the players because 4 days is not enough to turn around from one game to the next. And C, what about the fans that can't change their plans? But as long as Thursday Night Football, as long as Amazon gives a 3-week notice, they can change and pivot Sunday games to Thursday now. Where's that in the player safety realm of things? Where's that in the fairness? Teams get one Thursday night game a year, and they plan all season and all season leading up how to get themselves ready for that Thursday night game. Now they might get 2 or 3 Thursday night games because of this flex out. We're worried about the tush push for safety reasons, but yet we're going to give teams more short rest periods in between games. That makes no sense. But that, Amazon's paying billions of dollars for that. The Eagles are the league's least favorite team, which I don't get that either. So let's take away one of their plays. They're not bringing in billions of dollars like Amazon Prime is. We can do whatever Amazon wants because of the money. But let's not allow a play because one team's good at it. Isn't there a little contradictoriness in this right there? Did you ever read Harrison Bergman by? No, I do not. I've never even heard of that. It's all about society limiting greatness in the name of making things fair. Let me tell you something, Anthony. Let me tell you something. I might not be as old as you. I was trying to think of a cooler word to say there, but I might not be as aged or vintage as you. But I can tell you for damn sure, life ain't fair. Real life ain't fair. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You should be able to learn and figure it out. It's part of life, it being not fair. They should call fouls on players in basketball just for breathing on somebody. Yeah. You're on a roll here, Rick. I brought the negative out in Rick today, just not on the Phillies just yet. What's going to happen if they are going to or what's going to happen is they're going to sour fans of the real original sports so much that people begin to revolt and follow more underground sports that keep it real, like a Twilight Zone episode. Yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, outside of football, because football is still a multi-billion-dollar business, fans have soured on certain sports, like basketball, unwatchable. The ratings are declining in basketball. You know, hockey's never been able to pick up steam. Baseball stadiums are emptier every year. It was opening day in Nationals Park, and it was half empty. And I know they stink, but it's still opening day. But they are. They are. Now, I don't know what an underground sport you're talking about, but yeah, I can see people souring. Now, football will always be the top sport, but will there come a time where football will have a little downward tick in the ratings and in the excitement level? Maybe. Maybe not. Because it's once a week for 18 weeks, I don't think it'll really ever sour enough. But baseball, basketball, hockey absolutely are going to continue to go downhill, especially as it changes the game, especially when there's ways to improve those games. ABS in baseball. Every time I watch any pitch, good or bad, and it's not called right by an umpire, I just sit there and I think, ABS. They got the option to fix those problems, and they don't. You've got options to fix problems in sports, yet instead we're creating drama to affect one person, one team. It's bogus. Hockey was at its highest ratings in the 90s when they allowed players to police the ice. It created its own storyline unto itself. Look, I don't need to eliminate fighting in hockey, but I also don't care about fighting in hockey. I don't. I guess hockey is the only sport still where there's still some, or a little bit less of the, after basketball games, you battle and you're hugging and kissing. After football games, you're exchanging jerseys with your opponents. Hockey's still hockey. There's still that hatred in hockey. And there's respect, but there's still that rivalry and hatred in hockey. But fighting, to me, it is what it is. Like, I could live or hate. I mean, there really aren't real hockey fights, especially anymore. And even back in the day, it wasn't like real fighting regularly. It's a lot of pulling and tugging, slows the game down, never really lives up to the hype of like 2 or 3 famous fights from back in the day. But it is what it is. But anyway, back to the owners' meetings, league meetings in the NFL. You preach player safety. And all you want to do is change the Thursday Night Football rules? Tell me where it's safe to give a team 3 weeks' notice. Hey, you're going to play on Thursday. You're going to get 4. You play 4 o'clock on Sunday. Guess what? You're playing at 8 o'clock on Thursday now in a few weeks. Tell me how that shows any kind of care towards player safety. Dimes, how you doing this morning? Pro sports are the worst. College sports has a lot of issues like the NIL and way too early transfer season, but it's still a much better product. Pro sports are boring and too soft. Look, there's an argument for that, for sure. No doubt about it. There's definitely an argument for that. I don't know how I feel about the NIL and the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff in college sports now. It's changing the game. It's taking a little more time for me to get used to it. Pro sports, the downfall of pro sports, in my opinion, and this is pretty much across the board, are the TV contracts. The billion-dollar TV contracts, mainly based on basketball and football. The two sports that have seen the biggest change in their style of play, football and basketball, are the ones that have the biggest TV contracts. Baseball, we'll see what happens with their TV contracts. I see ESPN is dropping Sunday Night Baseball and their baseball package with MLB. We'll see if Fox or someone else spends big money or anything on that. But especially in football and basketball, those TV contracts dictate the rules of the game, dictate which teams they want to see succeed, dictate how seasons go. It's all the TV money. How much did Netflix pay to get Christmas games? Netflix, Amazon, NBC, CBS, Fox. They all massively play an effect in the change of football because they're spending billions of dollars. They've spent other money to improve the viewing. I mean, they still have idiots on their pregame shows like Chris Sims and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying. The Tush push is not aesthetically pleasing on the eye on TV or in person as another type of play. So the TV markets don't like the play, so they make their announcers talk about how it's not a play, which gets the owners to think, let's get rid of this play. Because the people paying our salaries don't like it. It really is a lot to do with TV. It really does. A bunch of Karens infiltrated our sports like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but with our sports. Yeah, look, you ain't wrong. Underground, non-commercial driven sports will be the way of the future. You heard it here first. It's going to happen. Like, I just want to know what one of these underground sports are. You already watching them? There's also way too much buddy going on. Where the I just said that if you maybe you missed that part. There's no drama. Look, I don't need people. Look, it started in basketball with these summer hoopings where bitter enemies like Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid are playing one-on-one in summer leagues and stuff like that, or on the same team in summer leagues. Look, there are no rivalries, especially in football and basketball. They all love each other. They're all best buds. Like, how many times have we seen Joel Embiid lose a game by 20 and then go laugh with the opponent after the game? We don't want to see that. We don't. Why am I going to be passionate about hatred for the Dallas Cowboys when Darius Slay's over there chilling with Micah Parsons on podcasts multiple times a year? It's a problem. I want rivalries. I want a heated rivalry. I want rivalries where opponents want to rip the heads off of their opponents. I want to have a conversation about sportsmanship. Did they shake hands after the game or not? So I can discuss whether it was warranted that somebody walked away from a handshake after a game. Not, are they best buddies and going out for drinks afterwards? Would lacrosse be considered an underground sport? Wings are still the cheapest ticket in town. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about lacrosse. But I would, it's a lower level sport for sure. The revolution is beginning and it won't be tough. It'll be on streaming services because everything's on streaming services. I don't know. But this is a big part of it. The buddy aspect of sports. It's also ruined the NBA with the super teams. Super teams sort of kind of always were a thing in sports. But now super teams are more about star players that have become friends that have decided they want to play together. And that's part of the problem. Like I don't need y'all to be like, let's all get together and hang out and play together. No. What happened to the rivalries? What happened to it? They just don't exist. And you know what? It's even gotten into, I don't know, Dives, if you used to be if you are or used to be a UFC or boxing or, combat sport fan. When UFC took their big jump into the national eye and became mainstream, you had literally hatred, rivalries. Chuck Liddell hated Tito Ortiz. You had Anderson Silva hated by everybody. You had George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes were just bitter enemies. I think it was Matt Hughes he was bitter enemies with. I forget who. They hated each other. They were rivals. They weren't out there hugging. Now you watch a UFC match, two people slugging it out, and then after the match, they get on their knees and they hug each other. Like, no offense, I get sportsmanship. You want to give a little fist pound, but let's not be best friends after trying to kill each other for 15 minutes. Old school boxing fan. Those were the glory days. Absolutely. You didn't see Mike Tyson being buddy with Evander Holyfield. You saw him biting Evander Holyfield's ear off. I don't think Mike Tyson was hanging out with Buster Douglas after that fight. Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali in their primes weren't having steak dinners together. Sports has gotten incredibly soft, and that's not what we're looking for. No. But again, are we their target audience? Because we're going to watch no matter what, us old heads. We still love sports. Problem is they're trying to bring in the next generation. They're trying to bring in the younger generation. Problem is that younger generation has a shorter attention span. And they're trying different ways to attract the younger, fresher audience. And somehow get all this money to spend, but yet don't have jobs. Tyson wanted to rip out people's hearts with and eat their... Absolutely. Watch the 30 for 30 of the Avalanche versus the Red Wings. That was must-watch TV. Hockey was lost that with the European soft hockey they're trying to feed us. Hockey was definitely a problem. That strike in 97, 98 was really the death of hockey really in America. They really never recovered from that. Live in PGA need to save sports right. Absolutely. For the golf heads. Brooks and Bryson. Brooks versus Bryson. That was the rivalry of all rivalries right there. Tiger versus Phil. They still all hate each other. But yes, Live versus PGA. Screw the Ryder Cup, Steven. I want Live versus PGA in a match play situation. Fight night at the Joe. I remember it. Hockey just was never able to recover from that strike in 90 whatever there. I mean, they've had more since then, but they were never able to really recover after that. Guys, please, there's only about 10 or 11 of you watching right now. Please hit that like and share button. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's build that algorithm up. The more we like it, the more people see it, the more we share it. The more people see it, the more they subscribe. The more people that see it, please, 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 tonight, 6 p.m., Steven, myself, and Jason will be hosting Fairway to Heaven, talking to Valero, maybe a Live and PGA, saving sports rivalries, maybe. Also news from the league meetings yesterday. And this is just going to trigger the 12 people watching now. The league has said it's okay for teams to wear their throwback / alternate jerseys four times a year. Not 2, 4 times a year. So that means now we can get 4 games with the Kelly Green jersey. And I'm here saying, yes, Kelly Green sucks. Kelly Green's overrated. Blah, blah, blah. You've heard me bash Kelly Green before. But what I want, what I need, I want the Ron Jaworski 1980s jersey worn 1 time. Now that you could go 4 times, 4, not 2, 4 with the alternate jerseys, I want to see a 1980s Ron Jaworski jersey rocked out there once. Maybe bring back the blue and yellow 1 time. 1 time. Maybe rock the white jersey from the 60s 1 time. It don't always got to be all about Kelly Green. Hockey strike was 05. Canceled. For some reason, I was thinking it was late 90s. Canceled the entire season. A year later, the NHL was on the Outdoor Network. That's right. For some reason, I thought that was like 98, 99. Can't believe it was 05. It was that late. It was that recently. It's kind of crazy, Freddie. Sometimes I lose track of time. And years and stuff like that. I could have sworn it was a lot longer ago than that. But they never recovered from it. Not the blue and green. Look, it just goes to show how much I hate the Kelly Green. But also, the blue and yellow works for the Phillies. Let it work for the Eagles, too. We're going to hear all about Kelly Green 4 times a year. 4. Instead of 2 now. And you know, I hate it. I know the Eagles haven't lost since wearing it the last year or 2. I know. Still doesn't mean I like it. Still doesn't mean I have to enjoy seeing them rock it. And now they're going to wear it 4 times a year. 4. So these are the things so far coming out of the winter meetings. The Tush Push ban happens today or not. We'll find out. Kelly Green's 4 times a year. 4. And, of course, Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football. Flex games allowed. That's the big news so far. I got notes from Howie speaking and whatnot. We'll get into this all as the week goes on. But there are the things that have come out so far. It does not work for the Phillies. Oh, it does work. The blue and yellow is a lot tighter than people realize. It's great. I love blue and yellow. There was a strike in 94. They did come back and play a shortened season. The year the Legion of Doom formed. I got my years off. I got my years way off, Freddie. That's the problem. I normally have a cup of coffee, then the show cup of coffee. This is my first cup of coffee today. I also have a dentist appointment in like 2 hours to get to. So that's always in the dreaded back part of my head. It's also April Fool's, guys. Is there a worse holiday that's not really a holiday? In the age of social media, April Fool's is just the straight worst. It really is. I will not believe a single solitary thing I see online today until I double, triple, quadruple verify it. Because that's all we're going to see all day long. Fake stories all over the place. Oh, and it's going to be annoying as can be. Annoying. It is. You don't hate Kelly Green, you just hate Chip. And it reminds you of that era. Chip. What? Chip Kelly? That's not why I don't like Kelly Green. What's up, Relaunch? Hope you're well this morning. Like, share, please. I know you subscribe. I don't hate anything. First and foremost, I've said that before. The word hate's too strong for me. I dislike Kelly Green because of the hype the fan base puts behind it. Half the fan base that loves Kelly Green weren't even alive when Kelly Green was born. Kelly Green is a representation of one of the most... The Kelly Green represents an era of Eagles football similar to the current era of Sixers basketball. Disappointment, hype, all that. And we love it. Why? It's a disappointing era. And you like it because it looks good? Absolutely. What's up, Peanut? It's Autism Acceptance Month to me. Anyone who celebrates a fool's holiday is, well, a fool. And Mr. T pities him. Guys, make sure you check out Peanut's YouTube page. You can click on his profile picture, subscribe, or there's a link to his YouTube page in the description of this, the pixelated history. Him and his son do a fantastic job. His son's a great, great young man. So please support them. It would mean a lot to Peanut. Would mean a lot to me. Let's get it done. I want to see him get to 1,000 before I even get to 500 subscribers. That would mean a lot to me. I don't hate. I don't hate. Hate ain't in my dictionary. Hater. Being a hater is not hating something. There's a difference there. And I don't hate Daryl Morey. I just know he's god-awful at the job he's paid a lot of money to do. I haven't gotten Day 9's video done yet. I'll do Day 9's video from the pizza shop, maybe. Maybe. But I don't hate Kelly Green. I just know it's massively overrated. In the pantheon of alternate jerseys our sports team wear, Kelly Green would be at the rock bottom of it. Kelly Green era Eagles is one of the big what-ifs in Philly sports, mainly. What if we didn't lose Jerome Brown? Yeah. What if our Eagles team wore Kelly Green in that fateful game against the Chicago Bears out in Chicago? Was that 89? Instead of wearing the white jersey. What if? The what-ifs between the Kelly Green era and the Sixers current era, a lot of similarities there. Lots of star players. Randall Cunningham never lived up to his hype. Got hurt. Joel Embiid. There's a lot of it. A lot of it there. Kelly Green does represent losing to me. Losing to the playoffs. Just like the Phillies. Kelly Green represents the Philadelphia Phillies. Losing in the playoffs. What if we had an offensive line? That was before the Eagles organization prioritized the offensive line over everything. And we had an okay offensive line back then. The problem is we didn't have a running back. We didn't have wide receivers. Think about our running backs that we had during that era. Keith Byers, Keith Sherman. Our best wide receivers during that era were Fred Barnett and Calvin Johnson. Or Calvin Williams, sorry. Calvin Johnson. He didn't have Megatron. Calvin Williams. What if my aunt had wheels? She'd be my car. You used the clean version of that joke right there. Thank you. Thank you, Rick, for using the clean version. I get it. People love the coolness of it. But see, the thing is, you'll find a lot more old-timers that don't like the Kelly Green. Most of the people that like the Kelly Green just think it's cool to rock the old-school merch at tailgates. I'm trying to formulate a thought off the top of my head here. And this might be insane. And we're at our peak viewership today, 14 whole viewers live right now. Haven't gotten to 30 in ages. Barely got to 20 a few times lately. but I'm going to really piss off the 14 people. I would accept the banning of the tush push if I never had to see the Eagles wear Kelly green again. Yes, I said that. Ban the tush push if it means no more Kelly greens. Interesting. Interesting thought there. Just saying it. I can deal without the tush push. I know. It is what it is. I don't know. Hey, what am I going to do? I can't have all winning opinions. Neither can you guys. But this is the only show where your opinions actually matter. Look, I could care less about the Kelly green, honestly. The tush push is the big Eagles thing right now. And, of course, you guys haven't commented. I brought it up, and no one's commented on it, how atrocious it is that they're allowing flexes now with Thursday Night Football. It's straight travesty. And there's going to be injuries that come from it. Unpopular take. I don't really care about jerseys. Me too. Like, everybody dives. Everyone's like, "Ooh, what jersey are they wearing this week?" And they can't wait till the Eagles accounts post this week's jerseys. Like, they can't wait. Green on white, green on green, white on white, whatever it is. I could care less. I don't buy jerseys. I don't care what jerseys they're wearing. Some of them are nicer looking and more appeasing to the eye than others. That's it. Honestly, I could care less about the Kelly green. I just know it instantly triggers everybody. If I have a low algorithm going on Twitter, I just make a tweet about Kelly green sucks. And boom, 50 comments call me an idiot. I was so close to 500. 480 we start the show at. 480. Assuming with the way this show's going, we're at 479 now. Black jerseys with Kelly green highlights and a chrome Kelly green helmet. Incorporate the Kelly green, but please stop. There you go. I like it. My buddy that works at helps us out at the pizza shop from time to time. He's got a black Eagles hat with the Kelly green eagle in the middle of it. It's tight looking, but she's got that faint little bit of Kelly green in it. I don't need a whole jersey. Give me a new, updated version of the old. That's what you do. The name on the back of the jersey, what the jersey actually. I don't even care about the name on the back of the jersey. As long as the Eagles emblem, the Phillies P, the Sixers logo, the Flyers wing, as long as that is on the jersey, I cheer for the team, not the name on the back or the color of their shirt. I cheer for the team. That's what I cheer for. Drug testing needs for you, sir. Thursday Night Football thing is lame and allows money to dictate the rules. Dictate the rules. Golden rule, I guess. Look, yeah. Thursday Night Football, flexing. And see, the thing is, it's bad for players. It's bad for player safety. Flexing Thursday Night Football games. What about the fans? Like, use Eagles fans, for example. Eagles fans travel better than any sports team out there. I mean, there's a whole company, Philly Sports Trips, dedicated around getting Eagles fans to Eagles away games with great packages. There, see, I gave them a free plug. But you're telling me, if I go out there and I buy a package, plane tickets to Dallas to see the Eagles take down Dallas in Big Dallas, okay? I buy plane tickets. I buy a hotel room. I buy my football ticket to the game. And it's a Sunday game. I fly out on Saturday, fly home on Monday. And it gets flexed to Thursday Night Football because Amazon paid billions of dollars to allow this. Is the NFL going to cover my flight ticket change? Are they going to cover any money that the hotel charges me for changing my reservation or canceling it? Are they going to give me my ticket money back because my job won't give me Thursday off and Friday off? Is the NFL thinking about the fans at all? No. They're thinking about the TV companies and the billions of dollars. And that sums up all this. as Rick calls it, I'm not going to use his word, but the softening of sports. Because the TV money dictates all things sports related. It's kind of a shame. It's kind of pathetic. It's kind of crazy what dictates what in sports now. Gambling money from all the advertisers for gambling and the TV dollars. That is what dictates what happens in sports. It's funny. Bringing up before about Matt Strahm. Matt Strahm's like, a pitcher gets checked every single inning for substances and for cheating and for this and that. But yet, all of a sudden, this new torpedo bat's coming out. We don't care. How often do umpires check for corked bats? It's crazy. Turn a blind eye to steroid use. Now we're just jacking our bats up on steroids. But a pitcher can't even, wipe his forehead without being checked for cheating. What dictates the rules, rule changes, and the way sports go is not even in the leagues anymore. It's simply the TV money and the gambling money. And that's it. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Tush, that's true. It's true. I'm not in any good the big clubs. Eagles should do a Kelly Green black and chrome combo the same way the Oregon Ducks do. I mean, that's what we're getting to, right? With football, right? We're basically just going to be college football with the 80 different alternate jerseys. What do cork bats have to do with Thursday night games? I'm just talking about what dictates change in sports. Offense in baseball is what dictates part of baseball. Thursday night football, the money is what dictates that change. And I said it, K1, maybe you weren't at the early part. The whole point of the tush push being banned, in my opinion, I feel the TV companies are behind portion, not all of it, a portion of the reason why it's so adamantly being fought to get banned, which I don't think it gets banned today. Because it's all about keeping the TV people, the TV execs, happy. And the tush push is not aesthetically pleasing to the viewers at home, to the advertiser. The main advertiser being DraftKings and FanDuel and stuff like that. Money is dictating football massively. Any thoughts on the torpedo bats? Is this a new phase? I don't know. I don't know if it's a new phase or not. I doubt if it works, if it'll ever get. It's not going to change a rule, I don't think. I don't know. But Matt Strahm is one of those guys saying pitchers can't do anything to get an advantage. But hitters can do whatever they want to get an advantage. Basically is what he's saying. Yeah, I mean, the few, I wrote it down. Harper, Bohm, Stott, and Marsh all were using them yesterday. And Bohm said it took 5 swings before he started feeling comfortable with it. And he had a big hit later in the game yesterday. It looks weird. It makes sense. But is it legal? I don't know. It is legal technically right now. I don't know. Yeah, Schwarber does not have a torpedo bat. Schwarber in German for torpedo bats are for chumps. There you go. The pacification of sports has happened. Now it's time for us to revolt and demand our sports back. Well, how do you say that's going to happen? How about Max Kepler so far? What a great time. Look, Max Kepler. Let's calm down. We don't grade a hitter being great or bad after a week of the season. He has started out red hot, no doubt about it. Had some big hits yesterday, obviously. Mundo Sosa had great hits. The thing with Max Kepler is, can he stay healthy? He's a really good hitter, had some great years, but he also has been banged up a lot the last year or two. So we'll see. Max Kepler in left field every week or every game is better than what we've had in the past. So there's that. You find Kelly Green, well, I don't care. I disagree. It brings up flashbacks of bad memories to me. It comes back to money. Offense breeds revenue. Remember the human. Absolutely. Absolutely. The humidors for baseball. It's all about the buck in all sports. Sports are less about sports and more about the money. Jason Worth next year. I saw somebody say Raul Ibanez from his first year in Philly. But I guess you could say Jason Worth too. Sure. That's fine. We revolt by not giving them our money until they change our sports back. But see, the thing is, we can't go without watching. The money comes from the TV. I can revolt by not going to games. I can't eliminate watching sports from my life, Rick. I can't. Even if they've been dumbed down, I can't. I need sports in my life. I've got to watch them. I got to watch the Eagles. I got to watch the Phillies. Life would be boring without those teams in them. I mean, I did eliminate the Sixers mostly this year. So that didn't hurt my feelings too much. But I still kept up with them. I don't know. I don't know how you solve the problem. I don't think there is any changing or solving the problem. But, again, back to it. The tush push ain't going anywhere. It's not going away. I haven't bought a ticket in a long time. I mean, I do buy a little bit of merch here and there, but not much. But I don't think that affects anything, because I don't even think the teams care about ticket prices and merchandise money. They care about one thing: the TV dollar revenues. Larry, yes, I will get my Fire Daryl movie. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do some of the videos a little later in the day. What's up, my man? Hope you are well. Larry comments on every one of my Fire Daryl Morey videos. I've been doing them all in the morning. Now we're going to get some in the later part of the day. Mix it up a little bit. If 2020 taught me anything, sports will always be talked about, even when there is none. Absolutely. Even when they're not on TV, they still dominate. Even when you can't go to games, they dominate. It's all about the TV money, and secondly, the gambling money. That's it. It's the TV money, it's the gambling money. That is what runs sports. TV money is so big, the league and networks would make bank. Exactly. They did. It's insane. Like, I forget the number, but all Netflix did was pay to have 3 Christmas games or 2 Christmas games. And they spent hundreds, almost $1 billion just to get 2 games a year on one day. It's insane. It's a big club, and you're not in. I know. You can say it again and again. I get it. George Carlin's one of the greatest. No, it's all good. Isn't Kelly Green from the 60s and 70s? They darkened in the 80s. The Kelly Green we wear right now is the ones from the Reggie White era. That's what we're wearing right now. And that is what I dislike. Legalized gambling has hurt the game. Yeah, you know what? I've been against. So here's the thing with the gambling, Rick. Look, I'm a gambler, obviously. I bet golf. I bet a little bit of football. My man Mark, who comes on the show occasionally, will constantly talk about how the league's getting in beds with the sports betting sites for advertisements is what's ruining sports. And maybe there is some truth to that. But on the flip side, the money's there for the taking. Why would they say no? The players got to be better about that stuff. But the money is big. And I'm for legalizing pretty much everything. Gambling, weed, whatever you want to talk about. Because if you could tax it, you might as well legalize it. But again, where I am for the legalization of gambling, where I understand why the owners are accepting the advertising dollars from them, I also understand why you and people like Mark feel that gambling has hurt sports. It's a two-way thing that I see both sides, and I don't have a real answer for it. You know who else? What's up, Eric? The Gatekeeper's here. Who else dominates? Big Phil, the Beard, a.k.a. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Like, subscribe, share. We're coming up to the top of the hour here. Two biggest Philly sports myths. Buddy Ryan fraud green is what we wear. Yeah. The Core 12 OG. The OG of the OG is Eric. The Kelly Green is about the money. They are catering to guys in their late 30s to 60s I think they're catering to the young crowd, Big Al. They're catering to those 40 and 50 and 60-year-olders that have kids of their own now. They're 20, 30 years old. They're catering to those guys. They're like, I want to be like my dad that talked about this era. Well, they realized that we hated that era. We were disappointed by that era. Yeah, I said it before. DraftKings has a huge partnership with the NFL, and ESPN has had a partnership with them forever. Also, their own gambling operation. There's too much intertwined there. There is, and that's the thing. Like, I get where it's hurting sports, but I also get legalizing it brings in tax revenue, and I also get that if it's legal, why wouldn't they want to get in bed and take that? Like, if there's $1 billion in advertising revenue available, why wouldn't you take it? Hey, I'm going to advertise. So I get where I hate like the Amazon Prime getting the flex Thursday night games, and it's because they spend so much money why the NFL is allowing it. I also get, if I was a businessman, the business side of the NFL is about making money. And if Amazon says, I will give you an extra $1 billion because I want to flex games so I have better games on Thursday night, the NFL's like, sure, I'll take another $1 billion. What's another $1 billion, you know? The big myth is that they care about player safety because they don't. They care about making money. Two biggest sports myths. Buddy Ryan could coach. The Flyers won by being bullies. BS. It was Bernie first before anything else. We haven't had a great goalie since Bernie Perron. And Buddy Ryan was an overrated coach. Sorry, Buddy Walters. I know he's your uncle, but occasionally you watch Buddy if you're watching. Sorry. It was overrated. Phil's right. The Kelly Green is marketed to fraud sports fans that care about uniforms. Exactly. It's all about getting the 20-somethings that have that disposable income from mama and papa. They don't work real jobs. About buying it to look cool. That's what it is. The Kelly Green is a marketing ploy to trick younger fans to buy merch. And it's what you see. Kelly Green jersey day. I mean, the amount of people that spend money on that shit. It's insane. We could do a whole show, Nooms on sports myths in Philly. I love that Eagles era. I wish they had more success. But look, I'm telling you, that Eagles era, Anthony, is increasingly similar and eerily similar to the current Sixers era. A lot of hope, a lot of talent, a lot of failure. Phil sounded like a bitter boomer. Call me what I am. They've never cared about player safety. I agree. The tush push ban that they're trying to get through is jealousy and TV money. The league's jealous that they can't master it or stop it, and they hate the Eagles, and the TV don't want to see it on their screens anymore. That's it. That's all it is. They never cared about the player's safety. I loved when the Birds started the black jersey in 04. I like the black jerseys. I mean, I prefer black over Kelly Green. The Flyers won because they had legit talent. Clark was a total package of a player. Barber, Leach was incredible goal scorers, and Bernie's a top 10 all-time netminder. Yes, not Philly, like all-time, yeah. Bernie Perron's also just a great dude. I've met him before. Not at like a signing thing. Just bumped into him randomly in a store, and he was nice enough to say hello to me. So, Bernie Perron's a great. Alternate jerseys are a ploy to make money. Love the Phillies powder blues. Well, what else is it for? Yeah. Is there? We say we hate jersey talk, or Dibes and I don't really care about jerseys, but is there a more beautiful jersey on a home opener than the white pinstripes for the Phillies? The red and white pinstripe of the Phillies is just such a beautiful jersey. It just brings a smile to my face when I see them wearing it. Like the off-white that they wear, it's cool. It's all right. Just a great white pinstripe Phillies jersey. It's just so damn sexy. It really is. Kelly Green brings out bitter beard Phil. It is. I'm not bitter beer, bitter beard. That's right. The KC Chiefs were good at the tush push, they'd be celebrating the play. Absolutely. Absolutely. If Josh Allen, who ran the play second most times in the NFL, was good at it, one of their poster child, they'd be celebrating. It's the Eagles. It's Jalen Hurts. That's why. I ain't a hater. Hate the game. Push the tush. That's right. That's right. Clark was a dirty bastard, and that's why he initially loved Lindros. Was he? I don't know. I like the black jersey better over to Kelly Green. Those are some bad times that Kelly Green with that awful coach, Kotite. Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, Buddy Ryan, but Kotite was bad. Love the shove. That's right. We love Clark, but my goodness, was he a cheap shot artist. I guess I'm not old enough to have watched enough Bobby Clark. Obviously, only being 44. Not my prime hockey viewing era right there. My first real true Flyers memory was the trade to bring us Eric Lindros. So, yeah. So that's that. Guys, we're at the top of the hour here. We're talking all things NFL league meetings, mainly with the Eagles. We can also talk Phillies. We can bring the Phillies home opener back into the conversation. All right? Phillies win. Home opener 6-1 yesterday. And yes, Rick, I am not thrilled with the way they won the game because I can see through the win that the same issues still exist with this team. Scoring nothing until the bullpen got out there. 6 innings against a mediocre pitcher. I think mediocre is being generous. A guy coming off of Tommy John surgery has pitched like 6 games in the last 12 years. When he went out there and dominated our lineup for 6 innings. That's not how you're going to win baseball games. The Rockies stink. So being successful against their bullpen does not mean they're going to be great against a good bullpen. In the words of the great Jason Kelsey, nobody likes us and we don't care. I care. I want people to like this. The rep requires that we remember Clark first for being dirty, completely detracts from the fact that he could score goals, make plays, win faceoffs, and work the corners. Yes, I like the black jersey of Kelly Green, and Kelly Green reminded me of Co-Type B. Turley. Absolutely. Black jersey, I'm a big fan. I would like, as someone said before, the black jerseys with the Kelly Green like trim in it. That would be tight. Just a little hint of Kelly Green. Only 6 games, so that means he is fresher than most pitchers. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I mean, I see. It didn't take long last night for all the Phillies guys like the Ricks of the world. See, I told you so. This Phillies team is great. Guys, they play the Nationals and the Rockies to start the season. 2 teams that are going to be 2 of the 5 worst records in Major League Baseball this year. They got guys on their bullpen that wouldn't be in AAA for the Philadelphia Phillies right now. That's how bad some of those bullpen arms are. So let's not get excited about that. Phillies averaging almost 7 runs per game, and they're 3-1. Wonder how Braves. Look, sure, the Braves suck. I'm not talking about the Braves. And what's his name? One of the Braves guys got suspended for half the season for a bad drug test. It's great to appreciate the good. It's great to live in the moment. And during the game, I live in the moment. But in the morning, I live in a real world that says that this Phillies team might have scored some runs. Also struck out a lot. Also swung at some bad pitches. Also gotten, there was a point yesterday where that starting pitcher had like 50 pitches through 5 innings. Not making the starter work at all. You need to get to their bullpen. Well, let's get to the bullpen a little quicker. Pretty weak approach at the plate yesterday by Phillies hitters, in my humble opinion, for the first 6 innings. And of course, we go up against some AA relief pitchers, some guys that should be pitching for the Bananas or whatever they're called, the Savannah Bananas. Probably wouldn't even make that roster. And that's who we get our runs on. Black jerseys remind me of the Arizona game when David Johnson shredded us on Thursday night and the team finally revolted on Chip. Wow. K1. I haven't thought about that game in a long time. Yeah. I think I revolted on Chip that night. Actually, I was never for Chip Kelly to begin with, but, I tried to buy into the hype. I won't say I told you so until Philly. So, look, And I'll say I was wrong. But guess what, Rick? The more likely outcome is that I'm going to be telling you were wrong. Just going to say it. Just going to say it. You can't bury your team when they lose, and when they win, now that's negative. I'm not burying them. It's a good win. They won. See, the thing is, Rick, there's winning, and there's winning when you're supposed to win. Okay? They are supposed to be 5-1 to start this season. Ballpark. It should be 6-0. They got shut down on Sunday pretty handily. From Sunday to the first 6 innings of yesterday, they were pretty inept lineup for a little bit there. Okay? This team is going to continue to go through stretches of greatness and badness at the plate. Luckily, our pitching staff is great. The high school senior that knows he is good will never flex beating a green freshman if he really wants to be good. Yeah, true. I had UNH season tickets when Chip was the OC. Oh, New Hampshire. There you go. Sorry, I forgot. I was thinking. Was it New Hampshire, right, that he coached at? I was so hyped when the Eagles got him. I remember it and be like, I don't know. I remember telling myself, this is going to be interesting. I don't know. But I do remember the first preseason game. Didn't even podcast back then. But I got out a notebook or a notepad, and I was writing down the amount of seconds in between each play of the first preseason game. And I was like, damn, this is weird. Damn, this is exciting. And it pops up in my Facebook memory feed every year. But I wasn't for it, but I was buying into that hype for a little bit. New Hampshire. I thought it was New Hampshire. I always thought it was weird that Chip was OC at New Hampshire for years before he was made head coach. Yeah, look, Chip Kelly era is a weird one to me. They actually had some success in that era. They really did. It just wasn't good enough for us. I said it and I don't think Chip Kelly was ever going to last long-term with a professional football team. I don't think his style was going to last more than 3 years anywhere. I said in 22, when everybody bitched about the Eagles not winning pretty, and then the universe said, okay, let's see how you like losing ugly. Be very careful what you're speaking to exist. I think there's a big difference between football and baseball, Rick. An ugly win in football is a lot different than an ugly win in baseball because it's a 162-game season. Playoffs are one and done. Baseball, you got to win a best-of-7 series. Hampshire had a really good team. So why did you go to New Hampshire, Anthony? Did you have a kid? Like, did you live like it's just kind of a weird thing to have season tickets to University of New Hampshire football. So I got to know the background on that one, Anthony. Why you had those season tickets? Belichick's for Chip Kelly carried some serious weight. Yeah, I mean he was a big fan. He was a big supporter of Chip. I'm surprised he never brought Chip in. I think he brought Chip in as a consultant or something like that. Maybe it was after the 49ers time frame. All wins are beautiful in every single aspect of life. Okay, that's fair. It's fair. It is fair. See, the thing is, the Eagles have won Super Bowl recently, 2 in the last 8 years. Ugly wins in 2022, having just won one, are different than a Phillies team hasn't won in 17 years. They've been to one World Series in the last 15 years. Just saying. You were in grad school. Okay, gotcha. Never been to New Hampshire before. No, maybe I've driven through. No, I don't think I've driven through New Hampshire. Been to a few states up north. Rhode Island, Connecticut, Boston, obviously, Massachusetts. Been to Maine. A couple spots in Maine. Never been to New Hampshire. New Hampshire puts out some great... Now, craft beers is something that me and Rick will always agree on. Always agree on that. The 1919 Black Sox, yeah. Those Black Sox. 8 Men Out, great movie. Phillies on same pace as Eagles. We'll see. We'll see, Rick. It's going to be 100. It's going to be 6 months of me and you doing battle on this. 6 months of us doing battle on it. New Hampshire is such a beautiful part of the country. I'm sure it is. I always joke that I've seen more countries I've been to more countries than I have been to states in the United States. And it's pretty sad that I've traveled outside the country more than inside the country. Definitely got to spread my wings and travel to the great parts of this country a little bit more frequently. Look, me and Rick are going to be doing battle all year long on this. If somebody says it, great. Now, Mista coming in is an odd place. I had to do a week-long order at Dartmouth. I didn't even know Dartmouth was in New Hampshire. Shows how much I know my geography of my country. Good morning, Mista. Hope you are well this morning. Those just shows my geography knowledge. Let's see. Like, really been to states in this country, not just passing through on a like I don't count states that I just drove through on the way to, whatever. Like, I've driven through Georgia, never stopped in Georgia or been there. But I've been to North and South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, obviously PA, New York and Baltimore, or Boston, or Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut. So a bunch of the East Coast, Florida, obviously. But outside of the East Coast, I've been to California for a couple of weeks. I mean, flying through Detroit or Dallas doesn't count. That's it. That's all I've been to. Been to Ohio briefly. Went to Ohio State for a weekend once back in the day. That's it. So outside the East Coast, Ohio and California is all I've been to. It's crazy. Yeah, can you get me tickets to the Masters one year? I'll come to Georgia if you get me tickets to the Masters. That's the only reason why I'd go to Georgia at this point. I've flown in and out of Atlanta or had layovers in Atlanta, and I passed through Georgia on the way to Florida as a kid. That's it. That's it. Never been to Georgia. I would say Ohio and California, the only states off the East Coast that I've ever been to. Kind of crazy. Kind of real crazy, honestly, when you think about it. So what's going to happen today? What other rule changes are going to happen? The rule change votes are going to happen today. I hope, and I don't know if they do this or not, I hope, and someone said this earlier in the show, something similar to this, I hope they release who voted yes or no on the Tush push ban. I'm just going to put a little bulletin board material up there for the Eagles. Okay? I want to know which ones vote against it. Key West is always a fun time. Hung out with Jimmy Buffett for a beer at the Green Room Bar. Hold on a second. You've met Jimmy Buffett. That's something right there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my last tattoo was a bubbles up Jimmy Buffett tattoo. Key West is fantastic. We spent Christmas in Key West last year. It was a fantastic trip. I've been to Key West dozens of times with my cruise ship days. But spending 3 days in Key West for Christmas last year was amazing. Well, 2023 Christmas, not 2024 Christmas. Beautiful, beautiful. I love Key West. It's great. But you had a beer with Jimmy Buffett. That, to me, is just, can't believe it. Don't tell Flyers and Sixers fans on Twitter that winning is beautiful right now. Yeah, exactly. Sixers are still trying to tell us. Did you see the Sixers injury report? They are still telling the fans that they're trying to win games. They are saying that there's a chance Kyle Lowry, who hasn't played a basketball game since February 6th, might play their next game, whether that's tonight or tomorrow. I don't even know when their next game is. It's comical. And until the Sixers fire Daryl Morey, it won't get any better. Fire Daryl Morey, please. Fire him into the sun. It's pathetic what has happened this Sixers season. It really, truly, truly, truly is comical how bad it's gotten. Comical. Kyle Lowry going to suit up for the Sixers for the first time in 3 months. Or 2 months, sorry. Can't do my own math in my head. Anyway, what else is going to come out from the league meetings? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. We'll save it for tomorrow. Nick Sirianni comments, Howie Roseman comments, Dallas Goedert updates, other contract extensions, talked about the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. That's a lot of stuff that we'll get into starting tomorrow for the rest of this week. Met Jimmy Buffett. He tapped me on the shoulder to get to the bar. I was so starstruck, but he is a very down-to-earth dude. He was in town for a beach concert. Man, it's crazy. I mean, Jimmy Buffett he's my guy. Number one guy I listen to the most. Every single day I listen to his music. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I can totally see him just casually sidling up to a bar. Yo, excuse me, sir, can I get a beer? And you'd be like, what? Yeah, that would be something right there. I saw one black person in New Hampshire the entire time. Everyone was staring at me like I was a majestic creature. That's funny. Yeah, I was a little concerned about your 2024 comment, but I was assuming it was a typo. Probably because Lowry's present doesn't put their 1-20. They are 4-27 over their last 31 games. It's kind of pathetic. Yeah, yeah, couldn't have been 2024, obviously. Just so you know. But I didn't want to call you out on it. Bubbles up. That's why I say bubbles up, Rick, at the end of every show, because of Jimmy. It's all good, man. It's still quite the story. It's quite the experience. I've only met a few semi-celebrities in my day. But if I could have met one, it would have been him. If there would have been somebody I could have drank a bottle of wine with and just chilled and talked to, it would have been him. When he's not beautiful for Flyers, just pissing away a high pick. On the flip side, I'm pulling for Michkov to take the Rookie of the Year. Does he have a chance at it? I don't know. I haven't watched enough. I know he was the fastest Flyers rookie to 50 points since Michael Renberg. I saw that stat pop up the other day. Hey, we all do it, man. We all got fat fingers in our age. I know the late, great Mr. Buffett has passed on to the great beach in the sky. Absolutely. I know you knew that, Rick. That's why I didn't call you out for your mistake. Sometimes when I see a mistake, I'll call it out just to rub it in. But I'm not going to call out that mistake. Not a chance in the world. Not at all. Because the late, great Jimmy Buffett is the greatest. And he gave us his greatest gift, Rick, with the last song he released in Bubbles Up. He is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's had a really good rookie season. I think it would have been better without John Tortorella here. Who knows? Been to more than a dozen Buffett concerts. Every single one is experienced to itself. 100% agree. I don't know that a few ping pong balls is worth perpetrating a losing culture anymore. Well, when it comes to the Sixers, Nooms, with the fact that they have so few of their draft picks, they kind of need the ping pong balls. Otherwise, they don't get a draft pick. But the problem is, yes, you're teaching young players like Quentin Grimes and Justin Edwards that losing's okay. And it's hard to break that. It really is. He leads rookies in goals and is a point behind the current rookie leader in overall points. Okay, that's not bad. Mm-hmm. How many Flyers games are there left this season? I know there's 6 or 7 Sixers games left. I don't even know how many Flyers games are left this season. I'm not positive on that. The future's bright for the Flyers. It might be a year or two. But with Matvei Michkov, say his name, and he appears with Mitchie Poo. With Michkov, with all the draft capital they have potential. Maybe not to win anything majorly next year, but they should make a push towards the playoffs and be a more entertaining team next year. We'll see. Now, Danny Briere is going to have to get out of he's going to have to hit on a bunch of these picks, but we'll see. Why did it take until the 7th inning for the Phillies to score? Because it took a AA level bullpen for them to score. Even a half-ass pitcher can shut this lineup down most days because they're inconsistent, mister. Because this is who the team is. The Phillies are going to struggle throughout the year, and then they're going to bust out of their slumps with a big bang. Just think about it. It wasn't just the first 6 innings yesterday that they struggled, mister. They struggled for 15 straight innings, dating back to Sunday's game. In this Sixers season, losing is a means to an end. In the NBA, you got to be the best or got to be the worst. It really, truly is kind of the way it is in the NBA. Okay, so the Flyers and Sixers have the same amount of games left. Gotcha. All right. For some reason, I thought there was a little bit more left in the Flyers season, but gotcha. So good. It's all almost over. This is who the team is. After 4 games, sounds pretty negative. Oh, my God. Stop. Stop buying the hype. This Phillies team is going to win 92 or more games this year. They're going to put up 6, 8, 10, 11 runs a boatload of times this year. And then they're going to get shut down and made to look inept 30, 40, 50 times this year. Remember, this is the same team that after the London series was a 500 baseball team. Phillies win is way better than a Phillies loss. 7 runs to 7 runs. They're not inconsistent. They are 3-1. My son thinks Flyers are making the playoffs to prove just how much they hated Torts after a while. Is there like an outside chance that they make it with 6 games left? It's fine. You know what? Call me Negadelphian Phil. Call me it. I don't care anymore. Call me what I am. Yeah, I know what you were doing. I know what you're doing. It's okay. I'm over it. Call me negative. You know what? I'm going to embrace being negative Phil. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to embrace being negative Phil, and you're all going to hate what negative Phil is really like. Because I could be negative. I could be a negative person. See, I said his name, and he appeared. I believe in Mitchie Poo. That's what it is. Flyers need ping pong balls too. Maybe. Flyers are winning the Stanley Cup. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to go on a run, Rick. Have faith in the team. Even though they've shown you nothing, have faith that the Flyers can win the Stanley Cup this year. Okay? How about that? Rant Phil is the best content. Yo, I know. I got you, my man. This show's almost over because I got to wrap it up. I got to go upstairs. I got to get ready for work. I got to go get my teeth cleaned. Probably drilled into. I'm sure there's cavities everywhere. I hate going to. Is there anything worse than going to the dentist? I hate going to the dentist. Go for it. Go for it. Bring it on, Mitchie Poo. Clip out. There's plenty of good clips from today's show. Negativity is the path to the dark side. Well, you're being negative about the Flyers not having a chance to win the Stanley Cup this year. Huh? Okay? That's all. So if you want me to be positive about the Phillies, you be positive about the Flyers. No, I wrap it up all the time. No, I don't. Oh, what? Anyway. Guys, tonight, 6 p.m., Fairway to Heaven, Stephen Fuentes, Jason Sullivan, and myself, recapping where we went 3 for 3. All 3 of us picked the winner last week. We're going to break down the last golf event before the greatest golf event, the Masters, next week. We're going to talk all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about how Michigan State blew it in the March Man in the Elite Eight, just at the end of the show. Never. I'm a married man, Rick. Come on now. Let me guess. Schwarber was okay in the leadoff, and no one else could hit. Schwarber is locked in the leadoff spot now with Trey Turner hurt again. Just so you know, he's been lights out since he moved to the leadoff. You know what? I tweeted one thing negative about the Phillies yesterday. 5 minutes later, I tweet Kyle Schwarber MVP season incoming. The negative comment got a million responses of, why are you so negative? And the positive comment said, dude, it's an early in the season. Stop overhyping Kyle Schwarber. So whether I'm positive or negative with the Phillies, I lose every time. Agreed. Anyway, time to go get ready for the dentist. Time to have a little bit more coffee. So after Fairway to Heaven tonight, tomorrow morning we'll be back. We'll be talking Tush Push again. We'll be talking. I want to go over some of the notes from Howie Roseman talking to the media about Dallas Goedert, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, some of the offseason moves. So we'll talk a little bit more Eagles-related specific tomorrow, plus any other rule changes, any other news from the owners' meetings, league meetings today. Then tomorrow night, Philly Press Box Radio, Bill and Chet have MLB Hall of Fame writer Paul Hagan on their show right here on this channel, 7 p.m. So there's going to be 4 shows from this morning to tomorrow night right here on the STT Sports Network. So please like, share, subscribe. It literally does not cost you a thing. Hit like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't. So please do it. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, reclaims the home run crown. He's going to reclaim the leadoff spot for the rest of the season, too. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up here. Everybody have a great Tuesday. I'll see you guys tonight at 6 p.m. for Fairway to Heaven. What in the world is that? They hit against bad. You got to put the word bad bullpens in there, news. Just, Anyway, Rick's comment makes me want to end the show right there because I don't even want to think about that. Everybody have a great Tuesday. No root canals. We just get the tooth pulled. We don't do root canals anymore. Everybody have a great Tuesday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go Birds. Go Tush Push. Bubbles up.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 pop.